My name is Demetrius Holt, but you may know me better by the name Hellspawned. Now I'm coming to you today because I'm putting together a networking event in order to financially bolster Black-owned comic book conventions. It's going to be called the Blerd and Powerful event, and it's going to happen at San Diego Comic-Con 2023. Now, I've already done all the research. I've already talked to all the conventions. What I need for you all is to just share this message. Talk to your friends. But the point is to get high-dollar investors out of San Diego so that they can see what a comic book convention could look like at its height. So that when these other comic book conventions start to exhibit to them, start to explain to them what they're made of, then they know that they're going to get a return on their investment. So if you have any information on anybody that you may know might be interested, please contact me and we'll have a conversation. And if your friends need to know who I am, just tell them to Google my name or Black E-Man. Thanks.
In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. Imagine that, a future that's super black. Long as your skin brown, your superpowers intact. What would your powers be? Just hope it ain't super whack. Spatial manipulation, create a portal that's black. Maybe just super speed, time travel to run it back. Or cheat manipulation to keep my spirit intact. As I encounter evils the world face, demons the world makes, I'm needed the world at stake. Rest in peace to Chadwick, they killed all the Black Panthers. Told us white lies, I still marvel at black answers. Suits in DC, pray it lead to a civil war. It ain't no Justice League, what's the need to be civil for? Propelled like the juggernaut, it's clear ain't no stopping this. The world in grave danger, who can stop the apocalypse? They killed all the heroes, the new ones don't really care. But if you need me, put your fist up in the air. Yeah, in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black.
Hey everybody, it's Thursday, Friday Eve, I like to call it. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Blerd's Eye View. It's your man on the wall, Chris Fury. Thank you for tuning in. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button, all that good stuff. If you're watching on Facebook, Blerd's Eye View Facebook or Blerd's Eye View podcast, thank you for following and watching there as well. And you can also check us out on Twitch, which is Blerd's Eye View 1. And you can also check out the YouTube channel and check out past episodes and see all the crazy stuff that, you normally don't get to see if you didn't see it live. That's if YouTube didn't take it out. But in the meantime, let's get Lady Mandalore in the building. What's going on?
Well, hello. Good evening. How are you?
I swear I'm going to start making Lady Mandalore do like some of the intros because she has the voice. I'm not the only one with the voice.
Yes, I practice. Sometimes I come along in the mirror. When I talk to the other voices in my head, we all get a little kiki.
Okay, Harley, it works. It works. Oh my God, we got the Black Spartan in the building. What's going on?
I thought Kira was about to start to sing the song. I thought she was about to say we all got voices and they're all a little cuckoo. I thought you were going to say it for a second.
We can share. You can share that at the end of class. I will sing next time, just for you.
Just for
what's going on, y'all?
It is another Thursday, man. It has been one hell of a week. We have a special guest here tonight. Waiting for him to come on through. But in the meantime, I came across something that I forgot that I had seen before, and I need to track it down because I want it. It's a movie called like the ballad. I think it's called the Story of Ricky O.
Oh
yeah, well, I knew you.
I'm gonna shut up.
Elders of the campfire, please bestow a story upon us.
So the Story of Ricky O is a kung fu flick, but they use practical effects for gore, and it's gore. It's not torture porn because it takes place in this prison, and they're doing like the most insane stuff to these prisoners. And Ricky O is there because he killed a man in self-defense, and you find out what happened when he killed this man. It was all in self-defense, but he's insanely strong. Like they show his backstory as he's in prison. They show his backstory. Like this dude was breaking stones with his bare chest and all types of crazy, like typical kung fu stuff that you would normally catch.
So One Punch Man, if he got caught.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is. I mean,
he hit the wrong one, I should say.
It's the most insane story, but at the same time, kung fu movies just have a certain level of special effects that you're just kind of like, I'll take it. I'll take that. Like, I'm okay with that. Like for some reason that the Western movies cannot do. You're just like, oh, he just broke that with his bare hands. I'm fine with that. He's trained for it. What do you mean he trained for it? Of course he did.
But it draws you in.
It does. It draws you in. It does. When you see just how insane some of the control. I'll give you one part. Because the warden is crooked, the guards are crooked, all the prisoners that are there, they're pretty much under the thumb of the entire thing. And there's a part where Ricky O, like the warden's just sick of his stuff. He's just tired of him. And he's like, I'm going to dig this big ditch in the middle of the yard, or the middle of the prison yard, and force the other prisoners to bury him.
Mm-hmm.
And they reluctantly did it. However, and then he left him like a bamboo stalk so he could breathe.
Mm-hmm.
What?
However, Ricky used that bamboo stick, no food, no water, and survived for 8 days and came out like nothing was wrong.
This man
needed a good nap.
he
looked irritated.
He said what kept him alive was the thought of his girlfriend that was murdered.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what kept him alive. It was like, because he had revenge on the mind.
which goes to show you, hate can keep you alive.
Hate can keep you alive. It was just one of those things, and it's such an out there movie, but it's actually watchable.
Mm-hmm.
You're entertained by the whole thing. Is that crazy? You know how
on Amazon Prime if you want to look at it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's put it like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than the live action Fist of the North Star. That's for damn.
Way better.
And yet somehow that has also escaped my vision.
Oh, you're lucky. You lucky.
That's the one you're just like, what? Yeah,
that's the
Ricky
one.
O is totally different.
You can watch Ricky O, but you can wave all you want to at Fist of the North Star. That you can wave it as it passes you by. You won't miss a thing.
It's all types of bad stuff. All types of bad stuff. So it's I don't know. That was kind of on my radar. I was watching Spawn last night, the animated series.
Nice.
It was on demand. It was on demand, and I'm like, oh, this is because what happened was I was watching Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone on Sci-Fi Channel, which I forgot why I wasn't watching Sci-Fi Channel because they had a crap ton of commercials, and I was just like, can we just get the show over with?
Yeah.
And so I said, well, let me see if this is on demand. And I'm looking for it, and I'm like, no, not up there. It's not up there. It's not there. So I'll have to check the Apple TV to see if they still have it. And I came across Spawn, and I'm like, wait, they got all 3 seasons. Let's watch it. It's Keith David. Let's watch it. Yeah,
it's Silver Throat. How could you?
So that was how I spent my Wednesday evening. I was like, this is good entertainment. Ray was on television. Spawn.
Yeah.
Enough said. I forgot. There's scenes in Spawn that I completely forgot about. I was just like, there's a reason why this was on Fridays at midnight.
I do remember it being absolutely gory, bloody.
But that's how
amongst other things.
Yeah, it was. I was just like, I'm like, whoa, I forgot about that because it wasn't like there's a scene with 2 strippers. And I'm like, I remember the naked strippers. I don't remember what the naked strippers were doing because it wasn't a part of the. It was just background to the show. And I was just like, there's a reason why this was on at midnight. Oh crap, I forgot about this.
When you realize you're around, it's like, oh, y'all can't watch that.
Yeah.
Can we watch Spawn? No. You watch that one.
No. You can watch the Michael Jai White version. You can't watch this version.
Watch the one on Nickelodeon where it's heavily edited. You cannot watch this one.
They actually put that on Nick?
There's a lighter version of Spawn, but which is hard to some of the stuff.
Which why is hard bother? To exactly. It's one of those why bother? It's so
because they have to somehow reach children. Let's take a Hell Knight and put him in front of children because he's a hero. Okay.
Right. So we got our special guest in the building, the man himself, heading the Blerd and Powerful movement. Hellspawned Cosplay. What's going on, my guy?
Hey.
My apologies.
You're good, man.
I had to restart things. So
sir, you're good.
How y'all doing? Hi, Kira.
Hi, Demetrius. How are you doing?
I've had a hell of a day.
Yeah, it's going around. Let me tell you. That is going around.
Yeah, it's been both positive and negative, so it's been a day. So you know what I'm saying. So I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me. And there's a lot of stuff happening.
Every I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, sir. I follow your social media like TV now. I just sit there and watch my TV.
Yeah, honestly.
No, see, now you're not on Facebook, Kira. You're not on Facebook. Is where I get like real personal and like I just say fuck it. Like I'm just gonna talk to people.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on.
Trust me, that's
that'll do it.
That's actually where I ran into Dimitri, was just on Facebook, and then started following him on IG. So, and we met last year, met last year in person finally. But my guy his grind is undeniable. His grind is undeniable. But Ice Cube said it best: if you ain't grinding and you ain't getting something back, then what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Right.
Yeah.
So you're in it for nothing. So before we talk to Hellspawned about Blerd and Powerful, let's talk about some of this news that's been popping off. So in the early 2000s, come to find out, Brendan Fraser actually auditioned for a Superman project that never came to be, of course, because there was a lot of dust up behind it about they strayed away from the source material. It's like was
that the one that Nicolas Cage auditioned for?
No, not that one.
That's what I was thinking. I was
that curse project. Hopefully not.
Yeah, that one. It was actually dubbed Superman Flyby. And like it was people like he was on the short list actually with Paul Walker, Jude Law, David Boreanaz. He was on the short list.
What?
Yeah.
And you talking about Marvel's gonna have competition, Kira. I'm never gonna let you live that down.
That's fine. We're gonna see. You got about a good 5 years before we have this conversation again. It's coming.
What's going to happen in 5 years? You're going to have what? Fantastic Four and the X-Men to contend with.
Pretty much.
They do it right.
Oh, listen. Marvel isn't DC out here talking about announcement. Henry Cavill, Superman. And the next thing you know,
like man ain't got a job.
And this is not like 2 years ago. This is a year ago. A month ago.
I'm not okay. Look. I'm not.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Chris. Kieran.
No, even Matt Bonner, even his castmate from Doom Patrol, Matt Bonner was on the short, which I can actually see him.
Yeah, I can see him play the younger Superman. I can see him play a young Superman.
He is short. Because compared to Brendan Fraser, he is kind of short. David Boreanaz definitely, so. But yeah, I was actually surprised. I'm like, oh, okay. Brendan Fraser was out here actually trying to put in some work. He wasn't, but it's a good thing. Even he said it. He was like, after seeing the script, yeah, like when you stray from that far from when you say stray from the source material, I'm like, how far are you straying from the source material?
You got to be pretty far away if you're going away from the plastic wrap over what is it,
the shield.
Superman shield. If it's anything like Kevin Smith described, because Kevin Smith did a thing, and this was right before the Nicolas Cage project, and he was talking about, he was doing a convention, and he was talking about this project for Superman, and Kevin Smith was on the short list for directing. And he said the head was talking about this spider, fighting this spider in the third act, and he said, Kevin Smith gets a call later, and he's talking to the other producers, and they said, did they mention the spider? And he was like, yeah, he mentioned the spider, and the project ended up going flat. Well, then the producer ended up going ahead and doing Wild Wild West, and he says, and what was in Wild Wild West? The damn spider.
Yes, he's got an obsession with spiders.
Yeah,
there's another project that he did that had a spider in it. I can't remember what the movie is, but yeah, no, he's weird.
8-legged freaks.
He's weird.
What was the machine in Man of Steel?
Oh, wait a minute.
Was
it
the
machine? It wasn't in Man of Steel. It wasn't Brainiac, but it was
an early Abezo project.
Yeah.
It was an early. It wasn't a Mazo, but it was an early prototype.
Yeah, it was, and I'm like, it's fun. He's also Brendan Fraser's also. He said he's willing to, with the right content, with the right script, he's willing to team up with Michelle Yeoh again for another Mummy movie.
That'd be cool.
He's been slimming down.
He about to get. He finna get the. If you thought he was getting the work now, he finna start popping up in places like, hey,
like he's been on the move. Like, even he said it. He talked about the Batgirl movie. He was like, he said it's a shame that young girls won't get to see themselves in this film. He praised Leslie Grace on that.
All I can say is whoever is at the lockdown vault at DC Studios, crack it open.
No, they took that away for a reason.
Crack it open.
If even James Gunn is like,
somebody's gonna have it.
Somebody's gonna leak it.
I swear to God,
Gunn is newly minted. We don't need Gunn to do anything right now except stick to his plan. He right now. He needs to be as clean as humanly possible. We don't need him associated with this.
What's going on, TJ? It's just one of them things, because I have the unaired pilot of the Wonder Woman television show they had, and that was about the CGI. I was like, what, I got it like $10. I'm like, why not? Let's do it.
I mean, if it wasn't for leak footage, we wouldn't have Deadpool.
That's thanks to Ryan Reynolds.
And I still say he leaked it. He'll never admit it. But
he did admit it.
Yeah,
he's admitted it.
100%.
I'm sorry.
He waited till it got greenlit, and then that's when he really started leaking a lot of stuff. And he was like, I was the one that did it the whole time.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
He had access to it. He was like, I did it the whole time. It was me.
There you go, kids. No, I'm not gonna lie. That would actually be cool to actually see the Batgirl movie and actually see Firefly, because finally a villain that's not of your typical Batman variety. I can actually see Firefly, but yeah.
If it's not good, why? Listen, look, I don't think this movie was good. I think it would have been different. I don't think that equates to good.
Well, I think my thing is this. I think what it is with this Batgirl film is we've seen the mess that's been happening at DC. We've seen how James Gunn said it himself. It's disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
There's a disconnect. We didn't know which Jim Gordon we were getting. We didn't know. Here you have a Batgirl who's a person of color. So you're thinking, okay, is this Jeffrey Wright's daughter?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or is this, I can't remember the actor's name, but is this his daughter and the wife is black? Or we don't know.
Yeah.
But again, it does, you like you said, no continuity. But at least if we could get Batman and Robin, as terrible as a movie that is, that to me is still the low bar for all Batman movies. It cannot be any worse than that.
But I do not want that movie to touch that bar either. Just because it's a little bit higher, don't make it releasable.
But at the same time, what's the harm now?
No. There's a lot of harm.
It'll show up. Somebody's going to show up with it at a local convention. Trust me.
Yeah. I mean, look here. There's a Flash movie that nobody asked for, and yet that train is still rolling forward.
But there's a reason. Anyway.
Yeah.
So this is why DC puts us in the positions that they put us in, because right now it's purely racial.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with Leslie Grace being a black woman, or at least a woman of color, if that movie is bad, and it gets released, you said, what's the harm in it? Yeah, the harm in it is that we as black folks don't forgive shit.
That's also true.
You know what I mean? So if the movie was bad, it wouldn't be the director's fault. It wouldn't be the supporting cast fault. It would be that black woman's fault.
Exactly.
Okay.
They'll put that. They put it on the head of her.
They will put her on.
They try to put it on her. Yeah, you're right.
They just try to put everything on Letitia Wright and Shuri. Like everything. They just. I mean, whether it's the suit, that's the problem. Even though they just saw one version of it, and we should have known that lesson for years now. Is that what we see in promo shots don't necessarily mean that's what we're going to see in the film.
Right.
At least that's going to be the final version of the costume. So all the lessons that we've learned over the years, when it comes to this fandom and with this fandom stuff and how people react on the internet, WB is a victim of both paying too much attention to Twitter and paying just the right amount of attention to Twitter. So
okay,
honestly, it would have done a lot of harm if it was bad. You know, not to them specifically, but to us as far as like trying to get more representation. Because we can have representation of minorities within mainstream media, but is it good representation? Is it decent? Is it?
Just don't feed it to it. Don't force it. Right. Don't force feed it to
wrong.
us.
It's a fair point, but but again, if it's a great story, that's always been
look at Fantastic Four. Look at Fantastic Four.
Great stories are marred by terrible performances and terrible planning and terrible shots and all this. Like you can a lot of people love Jason Bourne movies, but then yet they can't stomach it because of all the shaky cam. You know what I mean? So it might be a great story, but if it's shot badly, you're not going to get through it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't.
Close your attention off.
Jason.
I mean, look at Fantastic Four with Michael B. Jordan. He actually portrays a good Johnny Storm, but the movie was crap.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can have great casting and terrible story, but what if you have great casting plus great story? I mean, that's the reason why they film test.
Well, if that was the case, then they probably would have released the movie.
I agree. No, I fully agree with that. But I'm also on the other side of it that DC just didn't want to take the risk.
But they've been
taking risks. They've been taking enough risks. They've been taking enough risks.
Let me rephrase that. They did not want to take a risk on this particular movie, despite the risk they've taken previously. It's like, what was it about this one that sat there and said we can't do it?
Because they already lost $100 million on a 4-hour Justice League movie,
and they didn't get their money back on Black Adam. That was what they were trying to bank everything on. That was not a good movie. It was okay.
It was an okay movie, but it should never. I mean, the budget they gave and the story behind it, which again goes right back to. You could have had great casting in Alice Hodge, and you could have had great casting in Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate and Hawkman, but your story was crap.
Avatar's story is crap.
Your story was crap.
I do not think they had a good story with Batgirl. I think they had something, but it wasn't going to be any better than Black Adam, which means it was going to be completely obliterated by anybody and everybody that is against seeing more women in films or having more female-led films in general. Forget about race to start with, but anything that has a woman in it,
but that's the problem.
It's a problem.
Yeah, they got to get over that hurdle first, which is crazy.
Yeah,
so it definitely a mediocre female minority-led movie is going to be harmful. For me to see more of me on screen, I wouldn't see it for another 10 years.
But the crazy part is Woman King did great, but as we
nobody
all know,
wants to acknowledge it.
Exactly.
That's what I'm getting to. Woman King was great, but couldn't get acknowledged by the artists. Mm-hmm. Nothing was wrong with that movie.
But it made its money.
It did make its money.
I agree with you. It made
but they tried to dampen that down as much as possible.
Listen, to add to your point, that's why I was like, that's the stigma of you could actually have a great movie like that and it still gets snubbed. Yet Pineapple Express can get nominated.
Well, we all know what the difference is between those types of movies.
Yeah, I get that. That's what I'm saying.
But the other difference is there would be more chatter about a bad movie than there would be about a great one. If they're quiet, it's because they don't have anything to say, which isn't great, but I'd rather have them be shut the fuck up than have some negative stuff to say.
That's always been some people's thing. Some people's their thing has been just to down a movie just because of traffic, of clicks, or what have you, versus actually praising a movie. They're always looking to down something.
Well, see, okay, perfect example. This is a perfect example. I was going to do the Spider-Man Noir, but this right here is a great segue into basically James Gunn talking about the DC. He's already stated that the execs in Warner Brothers will have nothing to do. They will not interfere with DC at all, which is what a lot of fans have been saying for a very long time. Stop having the higher ups touch stuff that they don't have anything to do with. They don't know anything about. Don't change. You shouldn't have to change certain stuff. I don't know why you change certain stuff. Perfect example. We all know the origin of Batman. You don't have to tell it again. It's just like the MCU. We know the origin of Spider-Man. Even it was said it in Homecoming. He was like, even he says it in the movie. He was like, the thing with my uncle is too long story. I don't want to get into it.
Right.
Let's leave it alone.
Right.
Let's move on. Let's keep moving forward. And
Right.
so I think that's something that's needed. And James Gunn has been very adamant about jumping in front of stuff. We've said it before. He gets in front of this train. He's like, wait, before y'all start assuming things, let's get in front. Like, I haven't cast anything yet for Superman. I'm in the middle of writing it. And you're like, Warner Brothers will not touch anything that I'm dealing with. That's why they put me and Peter Safran in charge. We're going to leave it at that, so, but he's doing just enough without revealing too much.
But I like the fact that he did say there's a wall, that there's actually a wall between us and them. So that does add to the fact that it is giving more care to it. Like, he's making this his personal mission. It's like what we said before. It's like he is a DC fan like us, and he wants to see DC. He wants to see DC succeed. So in order to do so, you do have to cut out the cancer. Warner Brothers.
Yeah. You just give us the money. We keep it moving.
Yeah, pretty much.
You'll get
See,
it
now I don't know what's going on with Sony and Amazon, but they're doing a Spider-Man Noir movie, but the main character will not be Peter Parker. Now, we know that Spider-Man Noir takes place in the 1930s, New York, but who's going to be under the mask? We don't know.
I really hope they give it to
Nicolas Cage.
His name, Nicolas Cage. Yeah,
Okay.
I kind of want him to do it again. I liked his voice for it.
He did great. He did great in Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hope and a prayer, so why not? I
don't see Ghost Rider happening anytime soon. So
that's great. We don't need that. Disney has been announcing. Bob Iger has announced that there will be a Toy Story 5, a Frozen 3, and a Zootopia 2.
Oh, I know who wants to go first.
The exasperated sigh around the globe, sir.
Here's the thing. I don't care about another Toy Story. That story is done. It was Woody's story. You're done. Frozen 2, you told the story about the both sisters. You're done. Zootopia 2, yes. Give me a Zootopia 2. Let's get it out the way. Let's call it done. Like Will said earlier, it's too real. It's too close to realism.
I cannot wait for my son to get here so I can show him all the real movies. So he's set for kindergarten. Zootopia is going to be one of them, because I'm like, I want you to be just aware and just be ready, just with roast game ready at kindergarten. I'm ready for that. But Zootopia was real. I loved it, and it deserves a sequel. But like we talked about before the podcast started, I think that they're going to water down the sequel. I think the sequel is going to be toned down. And that's a shame.
I hate to say it, but I might have to agree with you on that.
Yeah,
because you saw it because how the first one was. It's like it didn't. That first one had so many subtle adult jokes. It was like watching Looney Tunes at our age.
Yeah,
that's how it was, and it was perfect. It was
like watching the Looney Tunes at our age. It was. Like there's certain sequels we do not need or did not ask for.
My thing is, I'm just tired of crying at damn Toy Story. I mean, you see, I collect toys, right? So
right.
In my mind, like, I was always Andy to a degree, but then I turned into the guy who had like the toy soldiers that came alive.
Sid.
What I'm saying? Yeah, I always take care of them. Like, I dust them, I talk to them. I make sure if something does pop off supernaturally, they're gonna have my back. So paying attention to Woody and Buzz, and the way that they hit certain beats. Like, look. Ever since my son came, son was born, I've become one of these like emotional criers. So like I'll be watching One Piece, and like when like the Going Merry.
Oh damn!
It hit hard, for me. You know what I'm saying? And
I know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then so we talk about like Toy Story, like 5. I'm not. And my son's 3, so when it comes out, he'll be like 4 or 5 now, and he'll want to watch that shit. And
it's not like The Incredibles 2. You know, it's not like the Incredibles 2. We all wanted to see an Incredibles 2.
Yeah.
Nobody's asking for Toy Story.
Why can't we get another Incredible? Are they done like with one another?
I think so.
It's been said without being said that there may never be another Incredibles movie. Just because Brad Bird has moved on.
They did all that without giving me a backstory with Frozone. I want the Frozone stuff.
Frozone deserves that. That man deserves his own movie. I'm just gonna that man was the backbone of 2 movies.
Like he came in clutch. Come on.
I always want to look up most watched Disney scenes. I guarantee the Frozone dinner scene is still has to be top 3.
That is
top 3 reviewed scenes. It has to be.
The fact that they took that scene where you see the helicopter crash, and then you take the scene at the end of Avengers Infinity War, and there's a helicopter crashing, and Nick Fury standing. I'm like,
Did y'all try to say, multiverses at the same time?
What else?
It's a Nexus event.
Dear Disney, I mean, I want it, but not like that.
Just that's if that is not the iconic line that most kids who are probably 17, 18 have repeated multiple times.
They probably heard their father say, like, where's it at?
Oh my God.
Look, I like you all saw me, like you saw me like basically working on something this week, right?
Yeah.
I finished it tonight.
Nice.
And so I had to make a response video to Julius. and like I didn't have any pupils like 5 minutes before I got on with y'all. So and the thing is I was missing my balaclava. I'm like, where's my fucking super suit? Like I really was. I said in my like, so I just did it without it. So it's I'm like, okay, whatever. But yeah, where's my super suit is definitely something that a cosplayer does say.
Oh yeah. Trust me, and like I got a whole eye patch and everything, and I'm like, where the fuck is my eye patch at? I'm like, I put it in the drawers just so I knew it would be there all the time.
I think
Man.
for me on my side, it's usually where's the glitter?
Glitter.
Glitter is everywhere. Why can't I find it? I can't find it now.
Like I'm looking for spray adhesive. I'm like, I had it. I used it. I just had it last week.
Things you hear at Home Depot that you'll also hear at a cosplay event.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break. We're gonna talk to our guest, Hellspawned Cosplay. He's gonna talk to us about Blerd and Powerful, what it means to be a Blerd and raise a young Blerd and being the father and the whole thing.
Oh.
So do you like your pancakes patted, your biscuits buttered, your cakes fluffy? Then you should get Mother Butters. I put that on everything. Pasta, veggies, rice, and everything nice. Mother Butters will get you right. Oh yeah, GMO free, and for those who are vegan, Mother Butters has a non-dairy option. That's right. There's enough Mother Butters for everyone to enjoy. Get Mother Butters from your local grocery store. Hey, man! What you doing in my kitchen? That commercial is 3 years old. 3 years old. I need to update that one. Mother's Butters needs a new thing. So we are talking with a special guest tonight, Hellspawned Cosplay. He is running Blerd and Powerful. He's probably one of the most prolific cosplayers out there. He's doing this thing. He's showing that you should be flying your flag, and he's showing that you should be stepping up to the plate if you are a person of color to make yourself be seen at the conventions and mainstream media and the whole nine. So let's talk to him. Let's get him up here and get that. Right there.
Oh shit!
It's a production. I'm a production man.
You get the full on treatment, sir. Go ahead, spotlight yours.
Right. Jeez.
Let me give you this because we've been cool for quite a while, a couple years now, and let me give you this. All right. All right.
Thank you. I appreciate you too.
Now he's not paying y'all. I'm just telling you. Like science.
All right.
I don't know.
But no. Okay. So when I say today has been a day. My uncle died today,
Oh man,
and
sorry to hear
you
that.
know,
I'm sorry to that.
thank you. It's whew. um, and then I closed the deal with Awesome Con. So
It's just the
Man,
balance.
that's a
It's
balance.
the weirdest balance. It's
Well,
just,
I don't handle death well. So I just work, and then I focus on other things and make sure that I get what I can, done. Like the I'll show y'all what I was like doing, like between making. You see this here, you know that goes
you
into
got it done.
yes, that
Got it
goes
done.
into this bad boy here.
I really can't wait to see you put that on.
And then I got to make another one for my arm.
I
So,
seen you trying that armor on
Dude, that
was
shit-
it last week. I'm like, that looks sick. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so trying to, because what's happening at Katsu is that I'm basically fighting Julius, and people want to know. People don't want to know this, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. So we thought of this storyline where I'm Bihan, I'm the older brother, and he's Kuai Liang, right? So he's the younger brother that has stayed the path of the Lin Kuei and done things the right way. He's become Grandmaster the right way, yada yada yada. And I am still the guy that wanted to have like the power just that much faster. Just wanted to like have grip of that. So remember in Deadly Alliance, Bihan acquired the. Actually, it was Kuai Liang, but we're changing that for this. Anyways, he acquired the Dragon Medallion, and the medallion, that's where he got his power boost, and his eyes went from blue to white. And that was that path. But if we're changing it for Bihan, if it's the Dragon Medallion and he's got a thirst for power, then that means that Dragon Medallion is actually mutating him and what he's wearing into a dragon-like state.
Okay.
So that's why the mask looks the way that it does. And then with the dragon scales, with the armor and such, and
this man thinks it through.
Yeah. and so what's compelling about it is that we got another cosplayer named DJ Dave. He's coming as Scorpion. So it's gonna be Kuai Liang and Scorpion going to try their best to pull Bihan back from the brink of destruction. But and like it's like poetic justice because like it's the enemy that set that one off from the jump. He's flipped, right? And so now like so it's. I mean, we're gonna try to do this at Katsu, and either
Wait, there is no try. There's only do. I need to see this.
No, but we do have a video crew, and we do have some photographers that are hitting us up to be like, yo, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, this. Like, can I get you? I'm like, yeah, it's kind of weird to have photographers like reach out to you and be like, can we take your picture as opposed to the other way around type shit. But it's dope. It's cool.
You hit that level, sir.
I mean, what
is this humble? What is this, sir? Stop.
Listen, it's dope. It's dope.
The flex comes after the completion.
Right.
That's what happens.
The flex comes where Awesome Con and I have come to an agreement where they'll host Juneteenth. Yes, they're willing.
Boards, people.
Yeah, they're willing to host and co-promote the Juneteenth event, and then give us a space. And I'm trying my best to make sure that people that have held me down are looked after. So I'm working that out. And
okay, wait. Yay! Fucking yay!
Yeah.
What the fuck? Yay!
Yeah.
She did the applause before I got to the applause.
And then we might be doing a geeky dad panel, So it's because I have Kauai that weekend too. So it'll be a dope, just like Awesome Con's gonna be black as fuck. Awesome Con's gonna be black, But so that was all today. But Blerd and Powerful.
Yeah, let's talk about Blerd and Powerful.
All right. Yeah. So Blerd and Powerful, like the commercial says, it's a networking event that I'm putting together. That I've been talking to, my person out in California today. Trying to make sure that the venue is secured or whatnot, and what I can do for that. but we're looking to have high dollar investors come talk to the con owners of Blerd Con, Black Label Comic Con, J1 Con, Afro Comic Con, and whomever else, maybe even Virtuous Con, be out there to actually talk to them about seeing how much they can basically pull from them to help grow these Black conventions. And the reason why the focus is the conventions themselves is because the conventions are hubs that we go to every single year. We see how many businesses exhibit at these conventions, and they are. Some people think we should focus on the individual businesses when that doesn't make any sense. The bigger the convention, the more people can come. That means the more money can come and fund those businesses that are already there. And you want to talk about the community growth aspect of it. The perfect example, again, is San Diego Comic-Con. They do 130,000 people per day, during those conventions, during that convention. And that means that the social infrastructure, whether it be the taco stands or the clubs or the restaurants or the hotels, are all getting that money, and then eventually it goes to the small mom and pop coffee shops that's not Starbucks or something other. They're getting that financial boost. And then the one other aspect is the benefits to children. If a Black-owned convention has an opportunity to exhibit longer than just a Saturday at a rec center or a Saturday, Sunday. If a Black-owned convention can exhibit on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or just a Friday, then that means that middle school kids, high school kids can take field trips and meet these Black artists and these creatives, and then get influenced, get inspired, and have stories that we would want to see on the big screen in the back of their minds as they go to film school. As they become parts of different organizations, they'll have some sort of more of a Black backing, more than as far as on a creative scale. I could say now, next Friday, I'll be speaking to a group of Cub Scouts about what cosplay is and how Black people can benefit from it one way or another, whether it be, emotionally or mentally, positive, or the whole being able to find a craft early on that you enjoy, and you may be able to monetize that as you get older, because the industry itself takes from what we build. If there's somebody out there that 3D printed this, right? There's somebody that means there's a lot of math, there's a lot of a lot of creativity that goes into it. That means that you could be some sort of designer or engineer, and all of that can go into making movies, something that you may have a passion for. So it's all about sparking what a child could possibly do in their own minds and their own imagination, and having that be translated into more than just a trade or more than just a practical 9-to-5 existence. Because as we get older and as we get more free from having to be held down by the shackles of practicality, there's no telling what kind of things these kids can do. So it's our job to push them in a way that gives them wings and allows them to fly where we couldn't. So there's that aspect of what Blerd and Powerful can do for Black-owned conventions. The other aspect of it is that Blerd and Powerful is an affirmation, because I talk about it all the time. How many times or how often can we go as Black nerds on the internet without having to see some sort of racial bullshit, where we're told where we can't exist in this space because we're a certain color, where the fandoms that we enjoy are a different color than us. Every time that I look around, there is somebody that is mentally and emotionally beat down because they are told that they are lesser than. So when you are being reminded by either someone saying it to you, if you reading it, or you wearing it, that's why I call this a flag. It has become a banner, because you are not only Blerd, but you are powerful. You are the one that can step forward on your own volition and not have your day ruined by somebody who is lesser than you. because they feel like you shouldn't exist because you don't look like them.
Right.
You know, so it's a reminder. It's a push that you're going to be okay. You know, and a lot of us need that more than we may care to admit. So, you know, I've seen a lot of people, you know, deal with their own levels of depression, deal with their own levels of anxiety, and you know, some people even question, just because they're mixed race, you know, how black are they? You know, that they just can't accept that, you know, they have a little bit of melanin in them. They're not, no, I'm not all the way black, you know. No, baby, to the police, you black.
right. That's all that matters at that point.
Yeah,
You don't pass the blue line check, sir. So it's like, come on now.
I had a friend come with me to New York Comic Con this year, and she was going to dress like me as a Dora Milaje, and I think what ultimately stopped her is the fact that she, you know, she's mixed, but she looks like a black woman. She is just very fair and very light skinned. And she literally asked me, "Do you think this is okay for me to be?" I'm like, "Bitch, you black. What you talking about? You come in all shades and colors. That is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Just put the damn thing on." But she didn't. She went as oh God, the chick from Thor, the good one, the braids. I can't remember her name right now.
Oh, Valkyrie?
Valkyrie, yeah.
Okay.
But she killed that too. But however,
right.
And that's one of those things that gets discussed also in the cosplay community, because you have people like, is it okay? Like, now to the other side, we'll tell you, you can cosplay whoever you want.
Just don't.
You just better not blackface. You know,
we don't put whiteface on when we're dressing as an anime character.
Yeah,
why do you think that's okay?
But that's the only thing that they never understand, is that we never have a problem. You want to be Black Panther? Be Black Panther. You want to be Icon? Be Icon. Don't do blackface. That's it.
I seen a white guy cosplay as classic Luke Cage, and I'm like, that's good, because he had, I don't know where the hell you found the yellow silk shirt from, but kudos to you.
That's so
and the tiara.
And the tiara. And the tiara. He had the whole nine. I'm like, dude, I don't even know where you found
that silk shirt this side of Soul Train. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I was like, either you held on to that and it's in pristine condition, or I don't know.
Or he's from Brooklyn, Harlem, or the Bronx.
But it's always wild, because I'd say it like this, and I had to point this out because I have a niece and nephew, and they want to cosplay. So it's like, here, case in point, she wanted to be a Dora Milaje. My niece is very fair skinned. I'm like, she's like, I don't know if I should do it. I said, honey, do it, because first and foremost, you with your uncle. I'm the biggest thing walking in that con next to you, so I hope said something.
You said, I
hope somebody says something to you. But at the same time, it's confidence. At the same, I told look, honey, there's as much as there are different type of milk chocolate out in the world, so are skin tones.
Yes,
it does not matter. But that's the whole thing, is why I like cosplay so much. Number one, it instills confidence. Number two, it opens up the imagination. Like, you're not stuck, or you're not aligned to one thing. It's really whatever you want to express yourself as. But I mean, it's amazing where you see a lot of us out there. I'd give a shout out to Stardust Megu, because she sat there and said, F what you think. She gonna cosplay whatever she wants to, and she does it very well. So love her for that. And I use her as an example, along with others, because you don't have to necessarily.
I am that person. I'm like, I am that person, Geek Blerd. I'm not gonna fly.
I mean, I am that way too. That's because I'm very protective of children, especially cosplaying. So if I see them getting bullied or somebody's messing with them, immediately I'm just like, okay, I'm ready to go to jail. It's like, I'm ready to go to jail. Come on.
I like to, you're right, Geek by Heart. She says cosplaying is, definitely instills confidence. And you look at characters like Spider-Man, perfect example. He's this meek character. He's very withdrawn, doesn't know how to talk to any girls. He's nerdy. and he gets bit by the spider, but he's going through these changes. However, when that mask comes on, he pops more shit
Yeah.
during a fight.
King of the one-liners. King of the one-liners. That's what I call it.
It was like, dude, you've been holding on to this for like 16 years, and you get into a battle, 6 dudes whooping on your ass, and here you can pop more shit than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But no, so it's just there's just so much that goes into it, and if I'm being honest with you all, like I didn't start cosplaying in order to be a leader of a movement, someone that gets people going on a certain level. But when you've this is why I fuck with Marvel more than DC's, because you have a lot of ordinary people thrust into extraordinary circumstances, and how they handle it, is what makes them a hero or makes them a villain. With my story, I could have been a villain several times over. Some people still think that I am a villain, but
embrace it. I do. Just embrace it.
But it's fun.
It feels good.
But the dark side, we got cookies.
But at this point, it's like, I can eat my chocolate chip cookies and still do what the right thing is. And the right thing is, speaking out for those who can't do it for themselves right now, and then giving them a platform to do so later on. And then, and trying to find different ways to support the community, even though I've seen how the community can turn against you or whatnot. It's still the bigger picture of the kids that are coming into this community, because a lot of people are aging out, and that's not really a thing, but it's a thing when they can't take care of themselves, and and therefore the hobby can't be sustained, so there's a lot of people leaving the community because inflation's high as a bitch, and a whole lot of different things, life is lifing, and but then now there are other people that are coming in or coming back to the community, and they need to have a real flag that speaks to them. I'm not out here trying to be personally enriched by people buying shirts or trying to gain clout. I mean, if anything, this is the thing. If anyone says that I'm a clout chaser, like you do realize that I would have to have clout in the first place in order to do something like this, right? Right. I can't chase clout if I've already got it. So I'm just doing it. You know what I mean? I'm doing it because I have the clout and the platform to do it, and it's working. Yeah. And I can tell that it's working because people, even like Kira herself, they are actually taking pictures and videos and having fun in showcasing their flag. Like it's dope. Like this is not just my thing, it's everyone's thing. And with me speaking on what matters, at least what I think matters, to the community, other people have been paying attention. And I'm talking about other people. I'm talking about people outside of our community that either want to monetize us but don't know anything about us. And so what happens? They come to me to talk to me about what our community looks like and what is. I've been working with a TV production studio house for almost 18 months now on trying to steer them away from doing anything salacious when it comes to the Black nerd community, when it comes to television. They want to do something reality TV like, or something that is competition like, and
let's stay away.
When it comes to Black folks, the first thing that comes to your mind is like Zeus Network, or saying Love and Hip Hop or something. Like if we're being serious, let's do something a little bit more classy and something that highlights all the different spots, arms within the community itself. Excuse me. And I've been trying to get that molded. I've been trying to like that. And then I have 2 other production companies one of them is starting out on YouTube, but then they got name recognition, and then you got another one that's like a golden goose right there. And like I actually took them on as mentors, and I've been paying attention to what they've been saying, and I've been trying to implement their words. And Chris, you were a result of that.
Yes.
Last night you saw what I did with you, and I'm like, this is the result of what I've been learning from them, and I'm just getting out the way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if whatever happens with y'all and whatever y'all build, I'm just here just to be a bridge. All right. That's the same thing that goes with Blerd and Powerful. I'm here to be a bridge, between the Black conventions and the community that wants to help them grow, or the high dollar investors that can spend $4,500 for a weekend and just have a good time. They can invest that money into Black conventions, and it truly matters. It's not just wasted funds.
And imagine the change that could make.
Right.
Oh,
but that's what I'm saying is what you and I say this because I know I've said this to you multiple times in different videos. You didn't call to be this. You didn't call to be the leader, but the situation that came to you, you did the right way. First and foremost, let me say that immediately. You did the right way because you had a village mentality as far as where you wanted to go, but you also wanted to include others. And at the same time, I love that, and I don't mind saying this to you because you're a very handsome man, but look, I'll admit that. I love the fact that you sat there and you say it all the time, it's not about me. It's not about what I get out of it. It's not about what I get. It's not about my name. It's not about this. It's about the future. It's about
the collective,
the impact. That when you speak like that, sir, that's on some Malcolm Martin kind of thing. Which again, I know you don't say that about yourself, but from us on the outside,
it's the mark. It's literally the mark.
You're hitting the right notes. You cannot help yourself but hit the right notes. That is who you are.
So that's why I said I don't want you to. Like I said, I don't want you to think that we see you as far as what you're doing, and it's all great.
Yeah.
But you are taking and running with, especially with Blerd and Powerful, especially with the fact that you did the one thing that you say a lot, that we simply need unity, that you wanted to bring people together. And what brings people together? A theme, a mantra, a flag, a calling, if you will. And you've done that. So I want to give you props for that, really and truly.
So I appreciate that. And what one of these producers has, this guy reached out to me, and he was like, listen, I saw one of your videos on TikTok, and you were talking about how elementary and middle school kids can go to these conventions and actually be inspired. You have something called TMI, and that's the ability to touch, move, and inspire. And once you hit one of those things, it's natural for something to just bleed over to the next one. And having this as a focus, it does focus on it does make everyone else more important than me. And that's why I try to put as many videos out and many photos of other people wearing the flags, because if you see someone who looks like you wearing something that is colorful, something that's bright, something that you can have pride in, then that spreads the gospel. And I have never been the sort to say it's all going to be me, 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 me. The group projects between the X-Men thing or the Juneteenth thing, whatever, I can't make any of that stuff happen without the people who are a part of it. So why would I want all that attention just on me?
Right.
I don't like that makes no sense. The table is big enough for all of us. You just got to be able to make your own plate, baby. That's it.
That's it.
That's got to be clipped.
They always forget that next half. It's it's room at the table, but you got to make
your own plate.
And a lot of people can't find the plates for shit, or if they do find it, they fumble. And they can't. They just don't wash their greens well enough. I don't know.
It's always something. It's always
Oh my god.
that bit, little grit in it. So you
that,
mentioned because this project just dropped yesterday. It's on APR TV. Children of the Atom.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Okay, so that was a project that someone. Okay. BlerdCon last year. Myself, Nurse J. Becky, Chris Tetris Dixon, and Mike Washington. We knew we were going to be there as X-Men characters, and so we were just like, well, let's do some TikToks, let's just take some pictures, whatever. And so we had some of the photos like edited, and it made it to Screen Rant 2 times Screen Rant and Comic Book Resources twice in the same month. Nice. You know, the same photo shoot, you know, so basically in August of last year, it was just us, you know, and then I think it was in September, you know, they announced Bishop's War College was coming out, which came out yesterday, right? Where all the X-Men were black. And it was like, oh man, that's special. I wonder where they got that idea.
It was something dope.
And so somebody was like, yo, we need to do something like bigger. We need to see if we can, you know, get a bunch of people together. So I was like, all right, y'all want to do this X-Men thing? You know, and I kept making videos. I'm like, you know, if y'all want to do it, I'll do it, you know. And Tim Pisani or Black Captain Kirk on Instagram, you know, said I will write and direct it. Cool, dope. And then we got an influx of people, and a week before the event at Baltimore Comic-Con, we had 42 people, all different X-Men, or some different versions of X-Men, because it was going to be like basically a multiverse. I just told people, I don't care who you are, just let me know which version you are, you know, because it would be a multiverse story. Yeah, I was like, all right, cool. Just let people have fun with it, right? The day of the shoot, people either didn't show up, or they got there 3 to 4 hours late, and the story that we had written was we couldn't film it all, you know. So we had a narrative, and the narrative was gutted because we didn't have the people that were going to be there, you know. And you know, I'm being because it's my project. I'm the executive producer, so I'm going to sit here and take responsibility for it. I'm going to say, for my own benefit and not everyone else's, that I know that it could have been a lot better than what came out in that product, because I know what the script was. I saw the fight scenes that we had. You know, like I know what could have been, and the fact that we had a truncated timetable, and you know, people were not there that we had depended upon for the narrative, we did what we could, you know. I had to raise some extra money. I had to come up with some extra money in order to get the special effects done by Black Viking, because the first folks that we had looking at the special effects kind of lied on their resume.
Oh my God.
Never heard that happen before.
Right.
So, you know, I had to switch up on things, and it was a learning lesson. I mean, it was a lesson, like it was a lesson, you know. And I know that being a producer, you know, you're going to run into hiccups. You're going to have to, you know, have reshoots and all that stuff. But that was something that we could not possibly do, because some people were from New York, some people were from Georgia, some people, you know what I mean? Like we had a lot of people come from a lot of different places, and you know, for Baltimore Comic-Con and for this event. So we are moving forward with another project, and we are several other projects. One we're filming at the end of this month focuses on three characters as opposed to 43, 42, you know.
Seems safer.
So, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see what we can do with that, and see if we can get the ball rolling. What happens is there's a lot of people who, like I'm starting to see more and more live action combat cosplay narratives pop up on Instagram. You know, like oh y'all are finally getting it. Like yeah, y'all are dressed as these fantastic characters, and the only thing you do is either look good in it or you just take portraits. I'm like, that's what combat cosplay is all about. And now I'm starting to see Mario fighting, like Waluigi or some shit like that. And now I got tagged in something else today where I saw Miles Morales Spider-Man behind a Sub-Zero character. I'm like, okay,
ideas, things is working.
Multiverses.
Multiverses. I mean, I don't know, like, folks. I've made this statement before. Like, it's funny how we have a community full of creatives when no one's being creative. Like just because you're doing something doesn't mean that you're being creative. Like there's a thing called derivatives, and derivatives don't really mean that you're being creative. You're just taking the idea from someone else and like you're not really doing anything with it. Like, please think of other things. Don't just throw various characters into something because that's the character you have to cosplay. Like, you know what I mean? Like put some real thought in behind it. Like, please, just don't throw people in characters together and just
we'll take what you did with X-Men. Like you literally went from just doing a shoot. You were like, I just had this idea. I just want to get together for an X-Men for a photo shoot. And it went from a photo shoot to what it is now.
A full production.
Just like you said, it went from something just as simple as a photo shoot to where, we could say knock on wood and say we hope that the powers that be at Marvel might look at you and go, Cyclops, which we all know your picture, which is kind of funny if you think about it. Your Cyclops picture,
it made our fan cast list.
It makes the fan cast, but it's so interesting because I deal with that all the time. Your picture as Cyclops comes up so many times.
Dude.
That just lets you know that number one, your idea as far as you're going to move with this is not only catching fire, but it's undeniable now. It used to be like, oh, it's on Instagram, cool, so's food, we know. But in your case, though, it's like when you pop up, when your cosplay pops up everywhere. That's where it's like, okay, it's starting to become undeniable now. Where it's like you said, seeing Cyclops, because and I know because I follow you on your social media, your TikToks, especially that debate where guys said you couldn't play Cyclops and you had to. I'm gonna be honest, sir, that was your moment of petty, and I approve. But that was a moment of petty, and I approve. But no, you had to break it down from like, dude, anybody can play Cyclops. If you can do it, I can do it. And you literally educated this man for about a good 10 TikToks, which I'm surprised you kept it that long, honestly. But again, it's like what you're doing. It's like there's cosplay and then there's art. And you're starting to kind of you're at that art level, dude. Is what I'm trying to get at. Is what I'm trying. I'm not trying to blow your head up.
Stop.
No, because the reason why, because again, maybe it's imposter syndrome or whatever, but I've always thought of, I've never thought of myself as like an artist until people start asking me specific questions about why I did something. Yeah. And actually, I had an ex-girlfriend told me that I was not an artist, and I was like, oh, there's only one way to think about artists. That's kind of myopic for someone who calls themselves an artist. Like that's funny.
It's one dimension, right?
Anyways, like in like I mean, I've always written stories for myself as like a child and whatever, but the idea that what I'm doing is art, like honestly, the reason why Cyclops is black and silver is because that was to commemorate the Black Lives Matter movement. It's always been that way, and I'm working on a Cyclops like version now that would be, at least in my mind, what it would look like in the MCU. Okay. So that's.
Explain to me how this is not the way an artist thinks. You have an imagination. You have
And
something
you
that
put
you need to
passion
bring
into it.
into reality. So you have to make it. That is an art form. That is
I
that
think
is artistic.
Is it that
Like
you don't want to? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kira. I'm sorry.
no. I'm make it make sense to me.
'Cause I see where Hellspawn's coming from, because again, the man is extremely humble. So
I get that. I accept that, and I believe it. However,
but
the
I see what he's
reality-
saying though. I see what he's saying. He doesn't want it. It's the fact of what he was saying beforehand. It's just, your creativity, your passion, your drive behind it will eventually equal to what the outcome is. But it shouldn't be seen as art. It should just be seen as what you want it to be. I think that's what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah, I mean, because I never thought of it as art. It was like, oh, this would be dope. Like, because we've spent so many. Like, I've got my 93, my 94, Fleer and Flare Marvel and DC cards. You know what I mean? That we spend.
If it's the deck I'm thinking about, I got that same deck.
He's got
a whole deck. I got a whole folder.
Right. So the thing is, like, we spent so many hours as children looking at these things, reading them, playing with these toys, like Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. I've only seen one cosplay of that, but yet it was something that we watched that we didn't have a problem with. Like some of us had problems with Beetleborgs. We didn't have problems with that one. Some of us had problems with VR Troopers. We didn't have problems with Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad.
Yeah.
But we don't see that anymore. You know what I mean? So we used to watch this. Why are we not utilizing what's deep in our minds and trying to implement them in the best way possible? Like I did make a video with the smoke coming out of my mask while trying to be as menacing as possible to respond to Julius's video. Like this is like one classic wrestling taunting, type shit. Yeah. And that's fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yet people take this stuff so seriously that you think that you're supposed to be carrying it as a business the entire time. And I was like, well, I don't think I'm an artist. I'm just out here just having a good time. Because
but that's what artists I feel. Okay,
I'm gonna put it to you like this.
I see
DC said it best, because DC, we did a rip on Cyclops before you actually cosplayed Cyclops. Me, him, and Candy, me, DC, and Candy, we did a whole rip. It was like a 20-minute rip on Cyclops, right? And then we seen you dress as Cyclops, and DC said, he was like, as much as I hate Cyclops, I don't hate Hellspawned Cyclops. It's like, I'm not gonna.
If you think of it, because like Cyclops has always been about his people, though.
Yeah, he has.
You might not like the fact that he might be a little bit of a man whore, or you don't like the fact that as the 90s cartoon,
the animated made him
right.
Made him look like a bitch,
very
or whatever.
thirsty.
But then yet, ever since like 2002 or something or other, that man has been on a tear for his people. And honestly, if someone was to be torn between Professor X and Magneto's way of thinking, and then ends up becoming an amalgam of the two, and yet will take a motherfucker out quick, fast, because even in the cartoon, he was quick with the blicky.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
he was.
So, I mean, why isn't he a black man? You know what I mean? It just seems to make more sense for his backstory to have him be a person of color than just a generic white-toast white guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I appreciate that people like the black and silver BLM Cyclops, but that's just a reflection of the actual character.
One more time,
yeah,
that's a reflection.
This is the before. This is the before. This was the before. This was the edited version.
Yeah,
like it's dope.
There was a hashtag about Cyclops been lifted.
Well, listen, the man. Listen, the man's always been Diesel. You just don't see it, because he's always wearing a jacket, for the most part. But so just to get, cosplay has become something of a passion, and I have been wanting to make this fog machine for years, and I felt like it was time for me to like really invest in like the side. Like, I mean, I still have everything out here, the glue gun. Like I was here watching you and trying to make sure this is going to work, because I need to make this one work, and I need to make one work for my arm. before next week because we got some work to do.
It's officially crunch time. It's officially crunch time. It's going into it's crunching out. So this is something that I've always appreciated. I appreciate all the work you do, number one, but this one is something that hits close to me, and is when your son came along, your son Kawhi, and this is what he's very open. Demetrius is very open about his child and opening, and showing him the path. That's what he's showing him the path. He's being a father. And when you did He-Man, now I know how some folks are saying, "Oh, Black He-Man." No, I'm saying He-Man. He knows, like I know. I'm saying He-Man. He had his son dress up as Orko, and I was just like, you know what?
Oh my god! Oh, my ovary just twitched. Jesus Christ!
I said, one, that's cute. I was like, two, adorable. That's dope as hell. And I was like, and he was there with it, and and his son, he's his son, and he's logging everything his kid is doing. He calls it superhero training. And,
superhero training.
And so, and just seeing him grow up and seeing how you are with him, and understanding, especially in the Blerd community, as a family unit, and showing that next generation, hey, it's okay to like all this nerdy stuff. It's in your blood. I did it. It's okay. You don't see nobody teasing me. It's okay for you to do it and love what you love. And now he's into he's posing. I was like,
that was posing.
Wait, the video you two dancing like one another that hilarious.
Because someone else pointed that out. It's like, is he dancing like you did when you were on stage in New York? I'm like,
you to go back,
bitch. Look back, you be like, son of a bitch. And the thing is, I don't show him any of the videos of me. Like, I don't. He picked up a small sword and was like, I got the power. I'm like,
I did it.
That's that moment where that's that proud moment, and then you see him move like you move, and you're like, oh, where did you?
But I mean, no, honestly, like I was sitting there thinking about like my upbringing, like my parents. My mom was always a Trekkie because her mom was a Trekkie. You know what I mean? And my dad was over in Korea sending VHS tapes of like Robotech and season 2 of Transformers before I hit Sci-Fi Channel. So like I was watching this stuff with my brother, growing up, and hell, like you want to talk about high school, I was selling DBZ VHS dubs, out of my locker. While people were still watching the Namek saga on Toonami, I was selling them the Boo saga, because I had I had that off of like eBay. So like, I mean, I tell this story, but people really don't believe me. And I spent $200 on eBay and made over $4,000. Like, come on, like don't as a ninth grader.
That's past hustle. That ain't hustle.
That is
mentality now.
Accomplished in ninth grade.
So the thing is, and I remember people were running in the hallway like not like because Naruto wasn't a thing when I was in high school. It was because Naruto King was a thing when I was in college. Yeah. So people are running in the hallways like that, but we were still doing our own thing, and nobody got beat up for it. No. I mean, I got beat up in the 2nd and 3rd grade for wearing X-Men shirts. Funny about that shit now, but that was like 92, 93. We're talking about like now, late, I mean, early 2000s and early 2000s. People weren't in your business like that. And I went to school like maybe 5 minutes from DC, so like if people didn't care, like, I don't know. I hear a lot of stories how bad people's upbringings were, how much they got bullied, and though I sympathize and empathize for them, I was like, damn, like that. I was in the homecoming court. Like
we're cut from the same cloth because my upbringing was pretty much like I knew kids who were into Star Wars, and we was out there playing lightsabers in the playground, and at home, and we was in the kung fu flicks. So I didn't get that kind of tease.
watching Kung Fu Theater on Saturday mornings with the family.
Yeah.
Like that's
Nice.
like I don't like these people who had this negative upbringing. I'm like, yo, like I'm sorry, but I was raised in love, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
You know, it wasn't until I got to high school that it was just like, all right, I know there's a couple, like I was still into it, but I didn't know who was around me that was into it. You know, so it was like I didn't have anybody to talk to about it. Except for
my school was not like that because we were in homeroom. We're watching episodes of like Rurouni Kenshin, and yeah, like
wait? Okay, I went to the wrong school.
Yeah, like we were, and then I got introduced to Devil May Cry.
Nice.
well after it had been out, and I didn't know anything about it. And then that's when I started like watching like Ninja Scroll, and I mean like this is when Blockbuster when Blockbuster and Hollywood Video were available, and like I was
Friday
able
nights was lit.
I was able to get into the culture with people who just said, "Oh yeah, I like that shit too." And one of them is like Chris from Three Black Geeks, and even in Eris from two of the three Black Geeks were in my high school. Like we graduated together, in the same class. Like so, it was we were all together, and none of us got like
that was.
Yeah, I didn't find out till like later.
Mine too was running into guys like that.
I didn't find out till later that guys that I've known since kindergarten. He was like, "Wait, you still in the comics?" I'm like, "Yeah."
I never left it. That's the thing about it. Is like you pointed out. It's the things that some kids are running into now, we didn't run into ourselves. Like you guys talking about, you ran to your groups that like the same things you like. Same way. It's like the first time I had mentioned I watched Ronin Warriors, 6 black dudes came out of nowhere like,
yo.
same six black dudes I'm friends with now, 20 years later. It's usually what it takes, but it's wild that it's like I used to always sit there and say the 3 things that bring people together: sports, anime, and food. As long as one of those 3 things, you'll find people that'll come together on those things. But it's amazing that, like I said, it's like I feel for those that get bullied. I mean, I was always told when I went to high school, you learn how to fight or get your roast game up. One of the two. either you go destroy the man's soul.
That's all we did. That's all we did was roast. So it was just like it was from the womb to the tomb.
Yeah. You had if you didn't figure out by 7th grade, that's your ass.
Right. I was a short, pudgy dude at 7th grade, but all I had was my mouth and quick thinking, and I was like, look, I'm not gonna fight you, but I'm gonna talk about you bad enough to where you don't want to hit me. Because
I'm guilty of that gift.
Let me tell you, it's worse on the girl side. I had no one. All I had was the fakery of liking boy bands, allegedly, and I liked one. But if I had known how many dudes were watching like nerd shit in high school, I would have cleaned up. I would have been an absolute menace in that high school. I promise you. As the only girl in that high school watching nerd stuff, I would have cleaned up.
What year did you graduate from high school?
2000.
You graduated in 2000.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I came out in 2002, and I had a lot of female friends that I was cool with because I was watching Sailor Moon. We were watching.
Sister. Yep.
That's the thing. Between Ronin Warriors, Sailor Moon. I was even watching the slave allegory of Pokemon. And I was watching everything. You know what I mean? But and like there was never anybody in my school anywhere that hid what they were into. I mean, between so many Hello Kitty, this, that, or third, Tamagotchis, and then folks would bring their Game Gears, and then they would play them for like 20 minutes, and then the batteries would be dead, and then like it was. I mean, this is the thing, it was
like my egg about to die.
Yeah,
right. Like I don't. We were all into our shit.
Yeah, Friday nights were something because besides Hollywood in Blockbuster, we had cable access, and this is when ECW was just coming on into the scene. And like after ECW would go off, you would get Crying Freeman, Devil May Cry. You would get not Devil May Cry. What was it? Devilman? I think it was Devilman.
Devilman.
Yeah, Devilman.
Yeah.
And then Lupin the Third, they would show all the Lupin the Third stuff.
Yeah.
So, and that was before Toonami, you know. So it was just like I was already like knocking on my brother's bedroom door. Hey, turn to this channel real quick. It's on. You know.
you talk about cable access. There was always Suncoast. That's what got me. Suncoast in my pockets.
So we were doing everything because like I stopped playing football in my sophomore year of high school, and it was like from there it was all ROTC and then peer mediation and then mock trial debate team, and then instead of staying in all the time on Friday nights, we would hit the racetrack, you know, because all of us were afflicted by the Fast and the Furious, you know, and you know had to have underbody lights. And
you had tutors and muscles, huh?
Right, you know what I'm saying? So we were doing everything, and then I had friends who was working at GameStop and then KB Toys, and I was working at Toys R Us, and we would run our
Toys R Us
in a ring of
you had a system. You had a system.
The
Xboxes, you know,
we had to have a system when
you had a system.
You know. And then some of us got promoted up to like Best Buy and
I'm not saying it's hookup. I'm just
discount.
Hey, y'all had opportunities.
That's what it is. Exactly. It's not hookups. There's just opportunities. I have
a chest over there with every single DC animated like DVD that came out before 2012. And because when I worked at Best Buy, you know, like it's a 67% discount on media. When you work there, it's like something crazy like that. So I would pay like maybe $4 for each brand new feature that came out. So of course I was going to snatch that shit up. So yeah, like, it was dope. And then like, you know, we just pass it around. Like, I mean, it just, again, I don't understand. Well, I understand it because I've been on panels at BlerdCon where people had different upbringings, you know, whether they were queer or whether they were, you know, introverted, you know, stuff like that. But speaking from my own experience, I had friends or I had circles that were always into other things, and I was the floater that just melded like I had to, you know.
Yeah. But the interesting part, you ever notice that if you think about how we all were, that literally there was nothing that was rejected that was introduced to you. If you really think about it, because I was a big wrestler. I've been a big wrestling fan since Mid-South Wrestling, especially here where I am in Tennessee. So I had all the regions, but to tell other people that were up north or out in California, it's like, oh, well, you didn't know about, you know, Florida, you didn't know about FCW or ECW or XF or XCW, which is crazy in itself. But whatever you suggested, people, it's like, hey, here's a tape, check it out.
Yeah, I think our house Monday nights, during the Attitude Era, especially our house Monday nights,
dude,
was bananas.
Yeah,
like me, my brothers, my stepdad, like we're just flipping between the commercials, flipping back.
Yeah, but it's just amazing where it's not even just wrestling though. Like anime was a big one. Like for me, Dragon Ball didn't get introduced to me till I was in college. Like I knew about some anime, but it wasn't before you had nine brothers. And when I went to college in 2002, you had 9 brothers in a dorm room watching the Namekian Saga, and everybody. Keep in mind, you've all been in dorm rooms. Could you imagine guys my size, 9 of us in a room?
You made it work.
You made it work. Nobody says a word.
See, the thing is, what's dope about everything was as far as anime is concerned, because if you remember Ronin Warriors coming on and it was syndicated, they stopped when the team got scattered.
Yeah,
right. And it was so difficult to find out what happened after that. And I stopped caring about it, right? Until someone has said something about Ryu being in some sort of wildfire white armor.
Yes.
Wait, that there was more to that story? You know what I mean? They're like, yes, nigga, like what?
And that,
point me, and then the idea that there was so much, because like as far as Dragon Ball is concerned, we only saw in American television, we only saw like several episodes of the first series, which is what 64 episodes was Dragon Ball GT.
No, for Ronin, it was the first was 52.
The first was 52 episodes.
Yeah,
for Dragon Ball.
For Ronin was 52. For Dragon Ball, I think it was. You might have been right on Dragon Ball.
Dragon. Oh, you talking about Ronin Wars?
Yeah.
No, Dragon Ball, I think it was like 180 episodes, and Dragon Ball Z had 191 episodes. And Dragon Ball GT had 64 episodes. So I never saw all of the first part of Dragon Ball. I never saw the Tenkaichi Budokai tournament with Piccolo fighting, Goku, or Tin Shan fighting Goku. I still have not seen that. And
wait, it's not on
it might be on Hulu. Wait, no. Take it back. It might not
Crunchyroll.
No, it's probably on Crunchyroll. It's not on.
Is it because like and the thing is don't
Funimation too.
Things if I can watch something that's dubbed, that means I can watch it when I'm on the road, because I'm always going to work or whatever. So if it's not dubbed, then I kind of shy away from it unless it's something that is like appointment television, like current One Piece or My Hero or something like that. So the idea that
I'm just you need to join us, Kira. Quit playing.
It keeps staring at me in the damn Netflix queue. I'm not watching it. I refuse to watch it.
No.
One Piece.
Kira, the church doors are open.
Come on.
The church doors are open, Kira.
No. Let me say something.
Okay.
To everyone who has a problem with One Piece, you are always looking for an anime to watch, right? Whether it be a new one or be an old one, you're looking for an anime, something to just occupy your time. We are on episode 1062 or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like 130 or something, whatever. That means that you can pace yourself. Like you have something to watch once a week into perpetuity if that's what you choose to do. Like nobody's telling you should rush through it. Oh
God, no. It's impossible.
Not saying catch up or anything. I'm just saying.
I went through 9 because I watched it during the pandemic. I started at episode 1, and I chronicled the entire experience when I hit certain points, and it took me 8 months to get to like 950 episodes. But that's the thing, like you start to like ingest the music, and then you start to get the rhythm of each episode. And when you watch those first 300 or 400 episodes in dubbed, you know when to pay attention because you hear certain music cues. Right.
Exactly.
But then what's funny about One Piece is there is absolutely no filler.
Right.
Every single arc, every single episode matters because they end up referring to it somewhere down the line.
We have had this conversation about how much I cannot stop thinking. You want me to ingest over 1,000 episodes?
It's not that hard. I'm like,
and I'm a completionist. Like I can't just skip
where's that Simpson meme where Homer's going, "Come join us at the couch"?
Listen, it's the emotional shit because like I find myself now going on YouTube and watching like Watch Mojo, like compilations of the best moments in One Piece, and this is what annoys me also about the anime community is that there are so many awesome examples as to how to be a good person or how to be like a man, and people take that, they say, "Oh yeah, that's dope, I love it," and then they just do the complete opposite and be bitch man. Zoro took the pain from Luffy, and people were like, "What happened?" And he's like, "Nothing happened, my dude." Like come on,
this is literally like when you say friendship. Like, like they don't leave without each other. Like,
Zoro's a ride
like,
or die.
they might split off to do some stuff, but they just like, we got to catch up with such and such.
Listen,
because we ain't leaving until we get this right.
Listen, scars on the back are a swordsman's shame.
Man.
It's intense, man. The show has, and he's right. This show has beats. There's a song when you know, okay, this shit's getting ready to go down. Like he knows the song I'm talking about. It's like, matter of fact, Crazy 8 the Great uses it in on his album, and it's one of my favorite songs because it's literally, it's called Big Man on Campus. And when it goes down, they mean business.
Especially if Luffy goes in the third. If Luffy goes in the third or fourth gear with his hockey, that is
he's past pissed. He's like, look, I'm about to take you down.
That is a you about to get wiped from the earth. That's a wipe from the earth moment. Yeah. Like you, I'll put it that way. You have to get him that ticked off to get him to that level, and that's only happened so far 4 or 5 times.
Right, and he'll be back in because I know he froze up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those moments.
I'm telling you, Garrett, it's just
I make no promises. I almost started it. I swear to God, I almost started it.
And the thing is, they might fight amongst themselves. But they be damned if somebody else from the outside messes with them.
Well, come on, Kira. I saw your comments on Attack on Titan.
Case in point, there's 2 characters on One Piece. And it's Zoro and Sanji. They will butt heads consistently, but let them 2 go off on somebody else, you're washed.
For the 4 kings.
Washed.
What was it? The four kings or 4 Marines arc?
Yeah, oh God.
They ran the gauntlet between
them
the 2
long. And when I say Zoro would do it because he has his 3 sword style, he'll do it with a sword in his mouth. Sanji would do it with a cigarette in his mouth and hands in his pockets, and they will whoop your ass without breaking a sweat. They're just like, okay, wait a minute. But so it's one of those movies or one of those shows.
One of those shows that
it's one of those shows.
Movie is probably a better word to use.
Well, you can try watching.
They actually have a couple of them that's on. Well, I don't know if they're on Netflix now, but I can't remember the arc.
There's a couple of movies. There's a couple movies on Netflix.
But there's an arc on there where the whole squad shows up in black. They show up in black. You'd be like, not only did y'all come up squatted up, y'all came up like y'all was the mafia.
That was
this is about to go down. I'm telling you, they're getting ready to cause damage. So
that was a pull up moment. Was that post Going Merry when they came?
That was post Going Merry. It was
post Going Merry where they came back after 7 years.
Yeah.
Okay,
it was post Going Merry. Yeah, and see, that's the other thing. There's a part where the Going Merry is their first ship.
Yeah,
and when you that ship went through hell.
That ship,
but it was an old ship. But it went through hell, and when they ended up having to get rid of it, it was damn near heartbreaking.
Yeah,
because you've always had a car that you really loved or something like that, and when it's its last leg, there's no way it's gonna make it. It's just not gonna.
Gotta pour a little out for Jessica Rabbit,
right? Yeah. You're just like, this ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna make it.
But I do gotta ask because now that because you've been watching Attack on Titan for a while.
I'm finished.
Oh, you're done. I finished. You got to the current.
I think we talked about it in your room.
Yes,
we talked.
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't there.
The discussion went, was Aaron wrong? And we were pretty much in agreement. Like, no, he wasn't.
No, he ain't wrong.
He wasn't wrong. It was just like
a little bit too far, but I mean,
but see, even when that was said, I often said, I'm like, y'all think he went too far. I say sometimes you got to put somebody. You got to, it's just like walking into the prison yard. You got to whoop somebody's ass so everybody else know not to mess with you.
They did threaten to wipe out his entire
race,
the entire race. So, I mean, they said it.
We were minding our business behind the wall. Y'all were sending motherfuckers over here like they were trash.
Right.
You
And he did give a warning. He did say, if you come for us, I'm going to release them. What did they do? He's like,
no, listen,
right.
no,
y'all
listen,
don't listen.
no,
All
listen.
right. You
So
gonna hear me?
it's one of the things. It's just one of
the
the
Magneto
things.
principle all over again. I literally go somewhere away from you, and you still want to mess with me. You brought this upon
something.
yourself.
But see, that's the beauty. Like with One Piece, that's one of those things where you're just like, he's right. There's no filler. Like it alludes to something else. It might seem like it, but trust me, it goes down the line. You're just like, yo,
But
wait a
I
minute.
will say this: prepare yourself for at least the Whitebeard and because that I ain't gonna lie, as a grown man, that made me cry. Whitebeard made me cry, and
what, going after Ace? Is that arc?
after Ace?
Yeah.
Ace and Whitebeard, those events made me cry. I'm not.
Sabo made up for that though.
Yo.
Sabo made up for that. He was like, you know what?
Yeah.
For him, I'm doing it. You know?
Yeah.
None of these names and words mean anything to me.
No. I mean,
check them out.
I might someday decide to embark upon this journey.
I feel like I need to tell you.
If you ever feel so inclined to watch,
I feel like I need to tell her. I just feel like I want to tell her. I was like,
well, don't, because I'm really not going to watch it if you give anything away. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
It's such an intense arc.
It.
Yeah, it's an intense arc.
I will get there someday. I will make it to the promised land eventually. Probably.
Okay, so you know who Luffy is. I'm just saying it.
Yes,
you know who Luffy
Rubber
is,
Band
right?
Man.
Have you seen?
You know what?
You've seen the X on his chest when people cosplay him, or you might that arc will explain that X.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know, it'll explain that scarring, and it was just like that was a hard one.
Yeah, he earned it.
Yeah, he earned it. Man, that's a battle. That is a battle. My God. I'm just like, would y'all hurry the fuck up and get him?
But I'm glad. I'm glad you enjoyed Attack on Titan, because at first you wasn't gonna watch it, and then you changed your mind.
No. I had started it. I started a while ago. I just never got a chance to finish it.
Oh, you never finished it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I didn't have any hate for it. I was like, all right, can we get to where we're going? It was dragging at that one. There's that one, like 2 or 3 episodes where it's dragging and then it takes off. I just couldn't get past that third. Like, I couldn't get the wheels to turn.
You couldn't get past the basement.
Yeah.
I didn't get to the basement.
You didn't get to
I hadn't even gotten to the basement.
Took you a minute.
Yeah, it took me a minute, dude. Took me a minute. I was like, who are all these characters? I have a feeling none of you really matter at this juncture. I wasn't wrong. I need y'all to get to the point with this.
I mean, you ain't wrong, but
I mean,
you ain't wrong. You just got to introduce the NPCs. So
exactly,
it's good stuff. It's just good stuff. But see, this is one of the, because like my son, he's watched Naruto. He's watched all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, he said, Dad, and I'm like, but when I told him about One Piece, he's like, Dad, and I'm like, yeah. I wasn't gonna watch
Naruto always had that fire soundtrack. I'm sorry.
One of them's gonna get watched.
Yeah.
One of them was gonna get watched.
As long as Rock Lee was somewhere in it, I'm like, that if that is not inspiration, I'll be honest, as a grown man, I still watch some anime before I go work out. I will literally go back and watch
that whole Master Man. I take my leg weights off scene was just
dude. No, that's classic. That's classic.
I'm like, Master Man, take my leg weights off now, and I'm like,
what you gonna do?
Yeah,
what you about to do with the leg weights?
He about to get it.
That in My Hero, I will watch those scenes, or watch the in Ronin Warriors where he actually does the White Armor Inferno for the first time. Those are amp up scenes for me.
All right, I got 4 days. I got 4 days to myself. I do not have to go to work. I make a vow. Mm-hmm. I will give it a good college try to watch.
Please do it.
One Piece.
No.
I will try.
You can't. No, that's not fair. That's not fair.
No, it is. I'm not doing it with any mouth. This is if I'm going to try something, I will try.
Because there's certain. The reason why One Piece strikes the way that it does for everyone who watches it is because there are seminal moments of their friendship that you wish that you had. Mm-hmm. You know, like there's the one moment where Nami is like, "Yo, help me," and Luffy takes off his hat, puts it on her, and he's like, "Of course I will." And then he looks at the fellas like, "Let's go," and they about to go whoop that ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, if you don't, that's like I don't know what episode that is, but that walk. You know, with the soundtrack, that was what that was 3 Towers playing. I mean,
yes,
it's gotten to the point where I know the names of the damn songs.
But I often say, I'm like, watching Luffy walk, I'm like, he must have the strongest fucking ankles in history.
Or the toes, because
the toes. My guy is walking around in sandals and. My man, they were in the snow at one point. All he was just like, "I'm cold." He puts on a coat. My guy, you still got sandals on.
Yeah, dude.
But still strutting with it.
But see, and the thing is, you know, One Piece. Like, I haven't bought a single piece of paraphernalia for One Piece at all. You know, I'm more moved by My Hero a lot of times. Because I ended up watching that every single time a new season comes out. I watch the entire thing all over again to just. And I don't do that. I can't do that with One Piece, but because it keeps going.
It keeps going, right?
You're right.
But no, the thing is, like, it didn't occur to me that there's nothing that I want to buy from it because I feel like I get everything that I need from it just by watching it. Right? You know, but that one moment of nothing happened, I think I do need to find something that reflects that moment, because that is the quintessential meaning behind One Piece. But I will be pissed if the One Piece is the friendship that you gain along the journey.
Oh, that would be
if that is what the One Piece is, I will be pissed.
Like, we went through all of this. This is lost all over again.
Turns out to be an after-school special. I'm gonna be mad.
It's starting to sound like that, fellas. I hate to tell you, from all the clues that I've heard from all the people talking about
the thing is, he was gaining it from the very beginning. Like, he just had that ability. You know.
Just see Gold Roger at the end talking about the real friendship is you. That'll get that skeleton smashed. I'm gonna be honest with you. I went through all this. Just
you died for that? No. But yeah, it's
a journey that is worth it. Like, you stuck. I mean, how many animes have you actually finished?
Oh, a lot. I have. I can say this with confidence. I have finished Dragon Ball as a whole. I'm caught up to whatever. Well, maybe not the.
You mean Super?
Yeah, no, Super. I think I finished, or at least I'm caught up to it.
Okay.
I finished a few. I finished Attack on Titan. We just talked about that. I have finished some other things that I really can't think of. Samurai Champloo, like the older stuff.
Okay, so that's the thing. Like, you finish those things. Your completion is cool. Like, why not just have something that you can always like you can't see. Well, actually, no, you can't. So this right here, like these are these are Marvel's famous couples, right? You got Peter and Mary Jane, Cyclops and Jean Grey, Rogue and Gambit. For 12 to 15 years, I only had Peter and Cyclops. And so Peter and Mary Jane and Cyclops and Jean Grey. When this third set came, when I finally received it from a friend that found it for me, I didn't know what else to do. Like, the search was over.
Yeah,
you know, I'm missing 4 Zords from the Zordon era, you know, of Power Rangers, and I know how much all of them cost. I mean, Titanus is going to cost me at least $450 at a con, you know, and I need a Warrior Wheel. I need the in space Zords, but then as soon as I get them,
that's it.
The journey's over.
What's it all?
Yeah.
What's it all for?
You know,
what's it all for?
So I say,
but I think we are. I think we
so
are.
damn sad.
But
see,
look, I
that's
think
the
it's
thing,
all
that's
it's
the
all
point.
in the hunt though, because it's like
Exactly.
it's like with Black Panther. I love Black Panther. I've grown up loving Black Panther, and that has been my journey, collecting all the yes, that yes,
yep.
You know, getting all the jungle actions, getting all the entire runs, you know, and that was where I first started. I was like, grab the jungle actions, rock it out from there, you know, and that's what I did.
But it's the pursuit.
See?
It's the pursuit.
And my wife would say, she's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm hunting." I said, "No pun intended, but I'm hunting for Panther stuff."
That's why the best thing about it is like Hellspawned says, I'm like, yeah, it really is about the journey and actually pursuing something. And when you finally do get it, it's that feeling of
I feel like Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah, dude. As soon as this last A Song of Ice and Fire book comes out, I will not know what to do with myself. So I get it. I fully understand.
Still not out.
No,
baby. He's only up to the second to last book, which is not out.
All I can
Listen,
say.
I was reading Game of Thrones when I was married. And that was a lifetime, right? So the fact that this motherfucker ain't finished them shits yet, you know, I'm like, all right.
You're almost like, no wonder they had to force that last season.
I get it. I'm hanging on, man.
If we don't get the ending if we don't get the ending that should happen in that book, just
I don't think it's gonna. I don't think you've been paying attention to how that book is gonna end, boo. I don't think.
No. It should end in utter destruction and chaos, and only one person should be standing.
Okay, then I accept your. I accept.
Oh, it's gonna be chaos. If they follow that line, it should be utter chaos, and only one person should be standing
to tell the story. Secondhand.
Well, I don't want to keep Demetrius because he's had a hell of a week.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to keep him because I know his schedule. I know how his schedule works, and so I'm like, I don't want to keep that brother up too late.
Yeah, I mean, you do be burning the candle on both ends, sir.
But it's the results.
Yeah, it's the results.
True.
It's the results.
Oh no, I know that. Oh, I know that. Oh, I did that this week. I did that yesterday.
He was like, wait a minute, let me get it together.
Oh, it's like, Jesus, Lord, please just carry me through this list. It's not even doing it. It's just the list of things that are coming. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's just I gotta get some outlines done and some proposals taken care of, and I'm gonna be on Canva making these decks here soon, so that I can make sure I get this stuff up, translated in a way that's going to be easy for people to digest, these ideas and whatever. So like we
man on a mission,
and I'm fortunate to be in a position to do these things because there's a lot of people who are not busy, and there's a lot of people out there that take other people's ideas and still not be busy. You know what I mean? It's just a matter. It's just a matter of how genuine are you in your mission and how genuine are you for the things that you want to do. It's just
right.
And a lot of people don't know what being genuine looks like, and so it looks so something so foreign to them looks like trouble. It looks like something they need to fear and they need to protect themselves
genuine, from. It's weird, but when it's imitated, it's normal.
Right, and that's where the comfort zone comes into play, and that's where people accept diminished products. And it's, and that nowadays you just gotta let people fall on their face and just hope that they don't take the rest of us down with them. And that's why you just pay attention to who's actually working as opposed to who's trying to
the shock jacks of them all, I guess.
I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like you see people for who they are and you see how they move publicly and privately, and you're just like, you know what? Ever since I started having a better sense as to who I can be around or who I can speak to, everything else has been elevating. It's like as soon as you drop the dead weight, you just buoy further up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just it's amazing. You know,
I've had that week. I'm like, yo,
Chris.
okay, all right.
The conversation we
I
had.
think it's a plastic collection plate.
I was just like, yo.
The conversation we had a couple days ago is exactly what is everything that you just said.
Yeah.
That's
why I look, and Demetrius knows how I move. I watch, I chill with it, you know, and I take it in, but I'm like, yo,
yeah. Something else that I was one of my mentors told me is like, you know what, people will either show you that they can do what they say they can do, or they'll show you that they can't do what they say they can do. And when it's time to present themselves and they falter, you know, you don't judge them, you just take note, you know, until they decide to turn that ire on you. Just leave people be where they are.
That's all you really all can do. All you can do, I should say.
Yeah.
So it's
I mean, you can only work with those that it can, like you said. It comes down to, as Kira so eloquently put it. I thought she was gonna say it.
Lord, what did I say?
Hey, Kira, thanks for missing that alley-oop. I
have no idea. I be saying,
do or do not. There is no try, lady.
Oh, there's always do. Yes.
Well, that alley-oop was good and terrible.
Oh my god!
I got caught off guard. You can't just throw it at me like that. I'm not good at sports.
Oh my god! So before we get out of here, man, we put him up here over here. There we go. All right, Demetrius, let everybody know where they can find you, my guy.
All right, so I'm trying my best to do exclusive updates on Blerd.and.powerful on Instagram. There's that page there that's solely dedicated to that thing. Hellspawned _cosplay, as you see, is my cosplay page on Instagram, and Hellspawned on TikTok. That is, I don't know. I just feel like I can have fun on that, and you know,
I'm not gonna lie,
I have fun on that one. You know, my Facebook is. I try my best to be as
family friendly.
No, I try my best to be not all the way me on my Facebook, because I do have people on my Facebook that I want to do business with. And
what are you doing fine this right now?
No, it's just certain circles. You gotta watch how you
certain things. He's fine.
Yeah, you know, there's because like there's some things that I want, and like you can't. There's a lot. I mean, if I was like, this was 3-4 years ago. Oh man, my Facebook was reckless, and no one would probably want to work with me. But there's a bigger picture at play here, so I have to be somewhat reasonable. But you know, I try to find as much comedy in life as possible, or you know, I try not to take things too seriously anymore, because that's the shit that ages you. You know, so you know, I see people act like clowns. I'm gonna treat them like clowns, and I don't like clowns, so I don't pay attention to clowns. So
or short people.
Hey,
listen.
Not the women. Not the women.
The Berkeley challenge.
Listen. Short people will always get a certain level of attention because they need it. You know, they crave it. You know, and I don't know if
there was something that it was someone, and I know them, and they're good people, but it was something I seen a while back, or someone I had seen him a couple months ago, and we were standing in the room together, and that you were the first person I thought of, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay. I'm like, that's how that works. I was like, okay, there it is. All right. And then I watched how they moved, and I'm like, there it is.
See, the thing is, I've seen it this week. Where people don't like what I say, people don't like how I say things, but people rarely disagree with what I say. You know, like, and
you may not like it, but you ain't say I was wrong. So
and it's true too of people who do me wrong. Like, like listen, hey, he did it to me. Watch. and watch, and then I get a screenshot like I get a screenshot like a month later. Nigga, like, like I did not tell you.
What was
it? Yeah.
Oh
Hey.
my God, Hellspawned, man. You know, we've been friends for a while now, and it was just all about getting you on. It was just scheduling to get you on. So, but I appreciate you coming through, man. I got to give you this. One more. Thank you for coming through. Meet him after the show. He'll sign your records and whatever else. You know, sign babies. Oh, wait, man, I appreciate you coming through, man. I love, number one, I love being a part of this movement. Let's just say that. I know Kira speaks the same, and so as well. And it's a very admirable movement, and as you know, coming on this platform, it's the same thing. You know, I'm here to make sure these people that get seen. We need to be seen more. We need to talk about these projects. We need to get these people out here. Shout out to all those black conventions. Shout out to J1Con.
Right.
You know, he's been doing it. He just celebrated 10 years. 10 years, black owned convention. 10 years.
Also, like, look up Virtuous Con. Virtuous Con is a black woman owned convention. That is when the owner hit me up about that, she was like, yeah, thank you for talking about black conventions. I'm like, who are you? You know? And then when she sent me the website, I was like, holy shit, it exists, you know? Like, and I was like, yo, that is like, Virtuous Con. Like, I started, because I just like I did with you last night, Chris. The showrunner and creator of Wicked City, her name is Kristen. I had her number. I was like, yo, there's a thing called Virtuous Con. And she was like, what's that? Boom. She's like, holy shit. I'm like, yeah, like this is for you, you know? And so yes, look up as many black owned conventions as possible, because they have, like, I mean, Kim Fest, the ECABACC thing.
Yeah, I know exactly the one you're talking about.
Can I buy a vowel?
That's all I know. That
I feel like I was solving a puzzle just now.
Yo, it's like the East Coast Black Age Comic Con. I think that's what it's called. But anyway, look that up. Look up the Urban Action Showcase out of New York. Demetrius Angelo. He spells his name with an O. I don't fuck with that too much, but that's him. That was his parents. What can you do? You know, we call him but you know, they have a penchant for getting the stars from, like, you know, our childhood, and like even like, you know, like the one year that I went, they had it was like the 40th. It's like the 40th anniversary of the 5 Deadly Venoms. Yeah, you know, and it was dope. I got me a mask. I got the snake mask. So look up these black owned conventions and try to support them as much as you can. Blerdandpowerful.com. You know, you can see where the actual mission statement, and then the link to the store to get your flag. You know, and like we come in like 8 different colors, and I never thought that these colors would work with so many other colors, but that just lets you know, like hot pink. It's
the marketing. Right.
It's
Marketing is everything, sir. Yeah, marketing is everything.
And who taught us about marketing? Spaceballs.
Let's search for more money.
Merchandising.
Oh my God, man!
I'm just applying the lessons that were given to us by the nerd culture. How was this hard?
Not wrong.
Not wrong at all.
Might be funny, but it ain't wrong. So,
all right, y'all. Let me go to bed. I gotta get up at 4:15.
All right, man. Woo. I appreciate you coming through, man. Thanks.
Now with that face.
Did he say 4:15? I'm like, yeah, I gotta start doing that Monday. Yo, Lady Mandalore. Let's talk about it.
Hello. You can find me on Instagram. I am Roomful of Blerds. I also have a TikTok, which is under the name of Child of Mandalore. I also have a podcast of the same name in which I talk about the history of Mandalore and its people. You should check that out. It's very interesting. And every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I have a chat room on Fanbase, and we have fun. We talk about everything. Sometimes we have special guests, like our lovely Demetrius Holt and our lovely Chris Fury. It's wonderful on there.
It's a blast.
It is. In about 2 weeks, because shipping has been a problem, I'm going to be starting a podcast called Roomful of Blerds.
Nice.
Tune in, find out. I'll let you know what day of the week I'll actually be posting it. Because details. What is it? The devil's in the details.
The devil's in the details, exactly.
Also, I have a little coalition or a collective that I have on Fanbase. We have been doing giveaways. Is this okay if I say?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Please.
We've been doing giveaways for Black History Month every week. Right now on Fanbase, my colleague Tafari TV is doing a giveaway for the Steelbook collector's version of Black Panther, the first movie. It is sold out everywhere. So if you win one, which is for free, you should do that, sir.
I think I'm gonna have to use one of those opportunities that Hellspawned was talking about.
I think you might want to. And then if I can get over here really quickly.
I can hear the wife now. How many times have you watched that movie? Almost 40.
Yes, almost 40. I am giving away some of these posters. If you can see, okay, for Black History Month. I've got 6 or 5. I have 5. One of them met an untimely fate. But that'll be that. We're going to be doing that for the next 3 weeks. You should stop by.
Dope. Dope. Will, aka the Black Spartan.
Black Spartan, because the other Will has won because he had the high ground.
Yeah, cinematic assassin.
Cinematic assassin won the name. So so Black Spartan. And the reason why Black Spartan, well, until Amazon gets the stuff together, I guess we're not gonna. Guess you'll find out then.
Shit! Right.
Amazon is messing 2 deliveries up right now. So that being said, as you can find me, guys, BlackBox447 on all socials. I usually do reviews on everything that I watch, that I play, that I read. And sometimes gem stuff, because I believe in trying to get to Demetrius Hellspawned over there, because that man is in incredible shape, and I'm just trying to get to his level. Is he shaking?
Hardly.
I just want to be able to have that bicep. I just want to be able to flex without not flexing. I'm sorry. I'm just messing with you. But yes, aside from that, I do have a couple podcasts of my own. My first one is my weekly political podcast called How the Frack We Got Here, where we do cover the events that are going in the U.S. that because you should be informed of, and definitely the State of the Union address, because if that was not the comic relief of the year, I mean, Dark Brandon came out.
He was playing chess. They played checkers.
Dark Brandon came out, and so did Cruella DeVille. That's all I'm gonna say. You gotta watch it.
Never seen anybody get played that quick. I'm like, wow, he played all y'all.
That was chess, not checkers. But also every Friday, along with my co-pilot Joe Tonello, we have a video game podcast called Get Bit Podcast. That's also every Friday. Both those podcasts can be seen on YouTube and on Facebook and on Twitch by their names. Also, I do write the wrestling column for Blerd's Eye View. Why? Because wrestling is real and people are fake. Shout out to Kids for that one. Real wrestling fans know the gimmick. The fact that I got Hellspawned laughing and Chris laughing, you know the gimmick. I just don't have the mic in my hand and not yelling it. So, But yeah, aside from that, guys, I am a very friendly guy on social media. I just have one rule: don't be a creeper. And aside from that, as I'm trying to say on a daily basis to everybody, literally there is no competition. You are basically it. You are in your own race, but I am rooting for you.
He's in tears over there.
I think we need to put on Demetrius. I don't think
We broke him. We broke him. We might have broke him.
I might have broke Demetrius on that one. I think I might have broke him on that one.
Oh my God. Yeah, we broke.
Wait, I can't
Oh
breathe.
my God. All right, everybody. It is your man on the wall, Chris Fury, here for another great episode of Blerd's Eye View. Thank you for tuning in. I want to thank my guests, Hellspawned Cosplay, and my awesome team for joining in with us. If you are watching this and it's your first time checking us out, go to the IG channel, go to Blerd's Eye View. You'll find the link tree in the bio. We broke him. We broke Demetrius. We broke him. He's gonna text me tomorrow. He's like, "Y'all broke me." Y'all broke me. You can go to the link tree in the bio. It'll send you to all the great stuff, including Facebook on Blerd's Eye View podcast. You can also catch it on Twitch, Blerd's Eye View 1, and you can show your love on the YouTube channel by hitting that notification bell and hitting that subscribe button. You can also listen to us on Opulence Radio. Just download the app completely free. You can hear all past episodes all day, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And we're taking a break Tuesday because, that's not Side Chick Day. That's just Valentine's Day. And there's going to be some people that
we gotta keep peace in the home.
Yeah, we all got to. Black Spartan. Me and my wife don't even deal with that day.
We just, dude, I have to keep peace in the home for 2 reasons. I got 2 reasons.
Peace must be kept.
Peace must be kept. Preservation of life.
But until then, which you'll probably see a past episode on there, somebody's going to get in trouble. We're like, wait. You're watching that show and it's Valentine's Day? Don't blame me. That's what we do. We don't break up homes. It's just that's what we do. We provide entertainment. Until then, tune in every other Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. And until then, thank you to the team. Thank you to my man Hellspawn. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.